All right, today I have a gear video for you guys. I'm going to go over my EDC and my range belt setup. Now, if you guys are looking for an inner belt that can serve as both your EDC and your range belt, inner belt, this Sigura Gear company belt is a great option. Okay, it's a very sturdy belt. As you can see, it's double layered, so it's very thick. So it does not sag whether you're wearing your concealed holster or you throw your range belt on top of this. It holds up just fine. This is their Emissary belt. They also have a light Emissary version, which is the same thing, it's just single layered. I went ahead and chose this one since I do wear my range belt over this. It can carry a little bit of more weight without the sag, and they do have different colors. Great belt, very well constructed. It's lasted, I mean, I've had this belt for about a year already, and everything, all the stitching has held up just fine. And I use this belt every time I go out and I put a belt on. I throw this guy on, you know, and then on top of that, I use it every time I go to the range, and that's at least once a week. So it's held up incredibly well. For my holster, concealed holster, I use the Tier 1 concealed holster. These are great holsters, very well constructed. They retain fairly well in here. And you can also, you know, obviously adjust the retention by tightening some of these screws here. And it's got the paddle. So great holster, I love these. Now for the range belt, I use a Krydex belt. This is the Krydex belt. For the price point, it's held up incredibly well. I think I paid like 50 bucks for it on Amazon. And I've had it for about 2 years now. I use it every single time I go to the range. And I've put this belt through the ringer. All the stitching and everything has held up just fine. No issues whatsoever. The belt buckle, it does have this Cobra buckle that I lined with some hockey tape to avoid my rifle getting scratched up when I let it hang or when I'm doing transitions. And that has seemed to work just fine. No issues with this buckle, holds up just fine, it's never come apart. Now moving in here, I have some Mechanix gloves hanging that I use when my rifle starts to run too hot. I throw those guys on. For mag pouches, I have the Idogear mag pouches. These are great. They have different clip options for either MOLLE or your belt. And they've held up just fine. I've actually had these longer than the belt itself, and I've had zero issues, no snag issues or anything like that with the mags coming out. So these are good to go. My IFAK is also Krydex. I've had this guy, I want to say a little over a year, and it's great. I mean, all the stitching is in place. It's not falling apart anywhere. It's held up just fine. It holds all my IFAK needs in there just perfectly. So yeah, this has been a great pouch as well. Moving down, I have the Safariland drop leg here with the QLS system, so that I can interchange with different holsters. And I mean, as you guys can guess, Safariland is a great company, very reliable, so I've had no issues with these whatsoever. Moving down, my tourniquet holders from Blue Alpha. I have my Cat 3 tourniquet in there. It's got a little pouch to put your Sharpie in there. It basically loops around with some Velcro that holds everything in place. I've had no issues with this, works just fine. So yeah, I would recommend basically anything and everything in this video. Everything has held up very well. All right guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And thanks for watching. Have a good one.